Hello, my name is Amaya, and something that means the world to me is my family and friends. The reason why they mean the world to me is because they're kind and really supportive. Whenever I need help, they help me, and that's what I love about them.
If I ruled the world, I would provide clean air. If I ruled the world, I will make sure everyone will get a good health care and a good education. If I ruled the world, I would do world peace. If I ruled the world,
what the world means to me is
if I ruled the world,
what the world means to me is
if I ruled the world, I will make world peace. So everyone cannot fight and actually be nice.
what the world means to me is video games because I love video games. I always like to play them when I get up in the morning, even though I can't because of school. It just helped me develop in life and it helps my jolliness. I just wouldn't be the person I am today without video games. I'd be a totally different person if video games were a thing, you know? Just my hobby.
if I ruled the world,
What the world means to me is
if I ruled the world,
what the world means to me is
Something that I want to change about the world is world hunger because not a lot of people are getting food and we're here wasting food if we don't need it. And I think we should all have food.
so my life matters now. My life matters in the midst of a political apocalypse. My life matters as a hashtag. My life matters as a trending topic. My life matters as you sit alone at home with nothing better to do. My life matters. My and my brother's lives serve as clout, do they not? My life is used to show that you are not a racist, just a pacifist. My life is used to know your sense of guilt and sue the naysayers that call you out on your microaggressions and your stereotypes. In response, you raise a fist and retire. Your daily quota of activism filled for the day. You cleanse your mind of black struggles. You wash your hands in ignorant lies, knowing that it would never, could never be you. According to the law, my life is worth less than a bad check. Less than a hoodie on, hands in pocket, less than a toy gun, less than an unwarranted police raid, less than a counterfeit $20 bill. According to the law, my life is worth less than a non-compliance charge. The same non-compliance that was forced down the throats of my ancestors for 300 years and another 100 years of oppression. The same non-compliance that is a lethal and legal drug in the hands of the United States of America. The same non-compliance that chokes me and suffocates me until I cannot breathe. My life matters.
Welcome to Writing Our Future, a special edition of Community Word Project's virtual series, The Art Inside. Now, we are excited to have all of you here, and we have a great lineup of students to share their powerful voices with us. In fact, you just heard Kayla's powerful voice. Now, Kayla has been a student of Community Word Project for 4 years. She's 17 and a Black poet and music lover attending the Young Women's Leadership School in Jamaica, Queens. She will be attending SUNY Purchase in the fall, studying studio production. In Kayla's words, Kayla believes it is essential to not only understand the inequalities in our nation, but to also actively advocate against them. And we welcome you to join us tonight in the CWP experience, live chat throughout the event, and show your support. Just enter your name in the chat box below to the right and let us know who you are. Give us your name, tell us you're here, and tell us where you're from. Now, I would like to introduce Michele Kotler, the founder and executive director of Community Word Project. Hi, Michele. How are you doing tonight?
Oh my goodness, I am so happy to be here. We have over 300 people here to amplify our young people's voices. It's a beautiful summer night in New York City. Oh my goodness. Thank you everyone for being with us.
And we are grateful to have you. Now, you've been on quite a journey. Why don't you walk us through the beginning? Take us back to the beginning of the organization and give us some insights into what it was like back in 1997.
1997, 23 years ago, my goodness. We were in one Bronx classroom and one Bronx community center. And now we're in over 100 K through 12 classrooms and libraries all throughout the city. Those first murals that you had to walk through the communities to see each line and to experience the whole poem. And then the moment that I was told no, that we couldn't use spray paint in public schools, and we switched to acrylic. And then the start of the Teaching Artist Project, right? We knew that to have the most impact, we had to train artists to reach all learners and to reach and support each student. And now we are training 50 artists each year, and we have trained over 800 artists that are going on to work with kids all across the city and the country, and it allows us to scale our impact. It's been a trip.
I bet it has, and that has been quite a journey from 1997 to today. And today are very different times than they might have been back in 1997. In fact, 2020 was sort of a year of uncertainty and loss for all of us, and a lot of the students and teaching artists in particular. So how did CWP come out a better organization in 2020?
Yeah. So we know what this time took away from us, right? The important question is what it gave us. And what I think it gave Community Word Project was the opportunity to think deeper about community, right? And how community looks in our classrooms, not just virtually, but just going deep within and thinking about how we take care of each other as teaching artists, as staff, and of course in the classroom. And then we think about our students, right? They're the opportunity there to, under such, quite frankly, insane circumstances. Our students were dealing with incredible loss and isolation, and and how could we virtually make our young people feel less alone? And our students were grappling with every emotion under the sun, and how could we provide them with the coping skills through the arts to process COVID-19 and the ongoing pandemic of racial and economic injustice? It inspired us to reconfigure our teaching arts training. We were always curious what it would look like if we did it virtually, and we had the opportunity to try it. And we widened how we were doing the work, and we now training artists how to write grants and to organize, and that gives our artists that we're training more opportunities to get work. And then it gave us the opportunity to have hard conversations with our funders about the realities of the work and the realities of our students' lives. And the one thing that surprised me that shouldn't have surprised me was the power of community, right? And when this went down, our community rushed in, including our funders. We wouldn't be here tonight without all of you. And I'm not saying this lightly. You got us through something that was so much bigger than anything we had ever imagined. And yeah, it was a challenging year. Do not get me wrong. And later we're going to hear from Kwame, who's an incredible teacher that we've worked with for the last few years, and we're going to hear how it impacted his classroom.
Yes, thank you to all who have supported us thus far. Your creativity was really put to the test this past year, and kind of core to CWP is imagination. In fact, you mentioned it in your most recent remarks. So what is CWP doing today that you never would have imagined when you first started the work back in 1997?
Yeah, when I started CWP, if you had told me that we would be partnering with NYU's School of Engineering, I would have said, can you explain again what an engineer does? This is the biggest surprise to me. And when David King, our program director, came to me and he said, look, I want to do something with technology. And I said, okay. And we started a conversation that has been going on for over 3 years with each other, with our students, and with NYU as to how we can amplify student voice through technology. We had the incredible luck of meeting Dr. Kayla Desports, and she, with her incredible staff and her grad students, have helped us figure out how to do this. And we're figuring it out. It will be an ongoing journey. And I think what's been really fun is thinking about how not only can we do this project, but we then brought in college and career exposure and what that looks like. And we've been working with kids, with high school students from 3 different high schools in Bronx and Queens. And Abraham, you've worked with some of these our students, right, through 2.0. We're really excited to partner the associate board, which you chair, with our 2.0 students. How is that going? What was that like for you?
Yes, and appreciate the alley-oop. We will hear from Nasa, who I worked with through her college prep process. And a special kind of story about that is I graduated from Howard University for undergrad. And when we were trying to match the students, Nasa expressed, I'll put it lightly, a strong interest in attending Howard University and studying law. So we got partnered together, and I got a chance to see sort of firsthand how the work that the teaching artists are doing in the classroom impacts students' high school career and how they can bring out those experiences in their college essays. So we help them. And Nasa did receive not only an offer to Howard University, but she will be attending this fall to her dream school studying political science. And we're excited about that. But I also want to, because you mentioned the rest of the associate board who are all watching tonight and who all contributed to projects like these throughout the time that they've been on the associate board. So we thank them in addition to our vice chair, Anna, who's on the phone as well. But that's enough about me. Back to you, Michele, and the Community Word Project. What is one special thing about Community Word Project Just one thing, that one special thing about CWP that you wish everybody knew about.
It's community, right? It's in our name and it's in what we do. In every classroom that we serve, there's a collaborative art making that happens. And this is on purpose. Change doesn't happen alone. People need people. We are all in this together, and now more than ever. So it's community.
Awesome. And we all know this work doesn't happen alone. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. So we want to thank, again, all of you for amplifying young people's voices, and for those of you who have directly supported, thank you again. We couldn't do it without you. And for those of you who are interested in continuing to keep this work going, you can donate now by clicking the link in the chat. Thank you again to everyone who continues to support CWP. Let's keep it going. Thank you, Michele.
Thank you, Abraham. And thank you, everyone,
Next
for
on,
being here. We're really excited.
Likewise, and we're excited to have you and for the more student work to come. So next on the virtual stage is Ouija, a 17-year-old senior attending Bronx Envision Academy. Now, Ouija has been with CWP since the 9th grade and says the CWP has helped her as an individual in confidently speaking up about public matters and affairs. In fact, in Ouija's own words, I've learned to not only voice my opinion, but that my opinion matters. She wants you to know I fight for change. I'm a rebel. This is one of the reasons why I will be attending John Jay College this fall. Say hello to your future attorney. It is my honor to introduce Ouija.
They said America was the promised land, though our ancestors walked night and day with shackles around their hands. The rebellious ones died. They feared for their lives. Not only were they deprived, it was our pride that made us feel alive. The pride of being Black. Yes, I said Black. Let me justify the facts. Our skin defines us. We are discriminated by the way we speak, act, and look. The melanin in our skin tone increases the wrath of whom we should have called our masters. The day of May 25th, 2020, George Floyd, one of our own, died. He chanted, "I can't breathe." That officer ignored, continuing to dig his knee deep, causing his airways to collide. After that day, we came together protesting the lost life that could have been mine. They say call the police when we are in danger, but whom should we call when the police endanger us? Though they solemnly swear to protect and defend the United States from its enemies. But to them, our green card and citizenships means nothing. To them, we are an accident, an assumption of he, she had a weapon. To them, if I didn't shoot first, he would have killed me. To them, self-defense. To them, I thought. Unproven justifications to save their titles. To us, unfairness. To us, inequality. It's terrifying how one's life can just vanish in just the blink of an eye. 6 feet under, but our freedom fighters all rise.
Powerful. This is indeed a student showcase. So you all are getting a great sampling of what our teaching artists and other members of CWP experience on a regular basis. You have Kayla, who will be attending SUNY Purchase in the fall, studying studio production. You just heard from Ouija, a future attorney. Now let's welcome Soraya. Soraya is 16 years old, in the 10th grade at the Young Women's Leadership School of Jamaica, Queens as well. A community word project has helped Soraya push herself to open the door to creativity that was once locked in her life. She says, and I quote, "It is okay if your ideas are wild or unattainable. There is always a way to bring them to life." Please welcome, and here is Soraya.
My skin. Do you see my skin? The rich melanin. The soft, smooth, brown surface called skin. Does it scare you? Do you feel threatened? Am I a threat that has to be eliminated immediately? Is my skin a hidden weapon that permits you to shoot my brothers and sisters? What do we have to do so that the shackles that we carry will finally be released? When will we be able to walk the streets without a big red target on our back with a sign that says "shoot me"? When will my people stop being killed because they looked suspicious? When will we finally have to stop fighting for the rights that we should have? When will we be able to rejoice in saying that I can breathe? When will we be free? And you know what? I'm tired of hearing people say all lives matter. All lives can't matter until Black lives matter. My life matters. My Black brothers and sisters' lives matter. We aren't a threat. Remember that.
These are brilliant pieces from all of our students. Thank you, Soraya, again. And let us know how it's going for you in the chat. Encourage these students and others, the associate board, our board of directors. You want to keep the chat going and show that you are a part of this too. So another powerful, powerful performance. And now I'd like to bring back Michele Kotler.
Thank you, Abraham. And oh my goodness, Kayla and Luigi and Soraya, their words, right? This is why we do what we do. So for the last 10 years, I've worked with Robin Alperstein, and I've learned so much from her and with her. When Robin joined the board, CWP was 13 years old, and we were doing a third of the work we're doing now. We were just getting our stride as an organization, jumped in with all of her smarts and energy, and what a great ride it has been. Robin has been with me through some of our biggest challenges and biggest successes, and she's always steady and always human. By that I mean she is as fierce as she is kind as she is giving. She has never turned me down when I needed her, when I needed help. She co-chaired the board with passion and compassion. She has a tough outside, and if you know Robin, she has a heart so big it fills rooms. Thank you, Robin, for all that you give of yourself and your Community to Community Word Project. And I know that you received a gift from us this week. We thought it would be fun to surprise you. Please open it, and can you share what it is?
Hi. Thank you, Michele, for your lovely words. I am opening the gift, and you probably hear some sounds. That's the box dropping. So I'm going to hold it up. This, I hope you can see it. This is part of, I can see now that this is part of a mural that comes from our community, one of the community poems that were put together or was put together by one of our younger sets of students. I don't know if you all know, but our teaching artists work with kids from the first grade through high school. We're in many different schools. And Felipe Galindo, who has been a muralist with us since before I was with the board, helps put together these beautiful murals. You see one behind Michelle's head, and so this is what it says. So thank you. It's lovely. It's been a privilege and a deeply rewarding experience for me to serve as a member of Community Word Project's Board of Directors for the past 10 years. There's not time to thank all of the people that I've had the gift of working with along the way, but I do want to give a shout out to our incredible staff and the amazing teaching artists who work directly in the classroom with the kids whom we serve. The thing is, I wish that Community Word Project did not need to exist. The fact that it does, that the same communities continue to be marginalized decade after decade, underfunded and underserved, and that so very many nonprofits have had to be created to try to step in and to fill the massive gaps in public education in our city and frankly in so many other cities. That fact is both an indictment of our society's values and a reflection of the enduring legacy of white supremacy. I'd like to be able to say, and you'll hear why in a minute, that this chronic underfunding of our public schools and of the arts ends with us. But until it does, Community Word Project's diverse staff and teaching artists will continue to ensure that youth at under-resourced New York City schools are given the tools to develop their resiliency in the face of too many daunting challenges. Our trained teaching artists work with kids to build their literacy, their critical thinking skills, their commitment to community and collaboration, their confidence, and their creativity. At the heart of Community Word Project's commitment is the recognition of the power and the value of voice, ensuring that children learn to use and raise their voices on their own behalf and on behalf of others. That notion For a community word project, each child is taught, I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. That idea resonates because when people are disempowered, they can give up on the world and give up on themselves. But when students are empowered and given the tools and the ability to raise their voices, whether through poetry or through the graphic arts or the spoken word, or even with a photograph that they take, great change can come. And we're here tonight in celebration of student voices for that reason. Our commitment is to ensure that all the children whom we serve, whether they are 7 or 17, learn to express themselves, using the arts as a vehicle not only for self-expression, but for communication in a broader sense, and in a way that redounds across all areas of their schooling and their lives. That might sound a little grandiose, but it's not. The ability to participate, to be heard, to feel heard, to know that your voice matters, that you matter, that is an essential component of a functioning society, and it's also a prerequisite for living a sustainable life. You've heard some of these powerful voices so far tonight from some of our older students, and you're about to hear another in the words of Justine. She is just 16 and finishing up her sophomore year, again at the Young Women's Leadership School. Justine is from Jamaica, Queens, but she'll be reading her poem from the country of Jamaica, where she's training for a spot on the Junior Olympics in track and field. She competes in the 100-meter and the 200-meter events, in addition to working on all her schoolwork. Justine wrote the poem that she's about to read, which is entitled, It Ends With Us, last year during the COVID-19 lockdown and shortly after George Floyd was murdered. I first heard her poem read aloud by Community Word Project teaching artist Katie Rainey last year, and I was blown away by it. I think it has remarkable emotional power in both its content and its cadence, but I'd like to focus you for just a moment on the title, It Ends With Us. She's saying, this has to stop. Justine's generation, and you heard it before, you heard it from Widgie, you've heard it from NASA, Justine's generation has had it with this endless cycle of racist violence. She's only 16, but her poem contains 400 years of exhaustion, anger, and pain. And yet what you'll also hear in that poem is determination and hope, a refusal to accept the unacceptable. And really, marshaling these emotions, those emotions for herself, not only to navigate the world, but to create a better world is what we're talking about. Think of everyone, all of us who were out in the streets last year marching for justice for George Floyd, for Ahmaud Arbery, for Breonna Taylor, and a list that seems never to end. Those voices all came together, and they were powerful. They are powerful. And together with other young people, Justine and so many others that we at Community Word Project strive to serve, they are going to change the world. I want Justine to be right. I want to believe, I do believe, that together we can and we will, because we must make sure that indeed it ends with us. And now I present to you Justine.
I'm not saying all lives don't matter. I'm just saying my life matters. They don't see danger when they see you. They do when they look at my brother. It never ended with my ancestors, but it will with us. It never stopped with Rose on the bus, but it will with us. An innocent man shot down, yet you expect us to smile and be happy like clowns? How many more tears should we shed when another Black man is shot dead? How many mothers will cry because their son had to die? Your son died, but why? Is it because his nose isn't straight or the thick curls in his hair? Is it the color of his skin or that his lips aren't that thin? Do we have to look like you to actually fit in? Do I have to look like you so I can live? Why do you kill us for being bold and loving the way we're built? I'm not saying all lives don't matter. I'm just saying Black people are killed because of the way we were built. Trayvon, Philando, Michael, Eric, and now George. How many more hashtags do you need to feel our pain? We cry today, then you spew hate like rain. No peace, no justice until you stop this. Stop killing us because you wish we never exist. It never ended at Selma, but it will with us.
Thank you, Justine, for proving that when students have a voice, they have something to say, you should listen to it. These have been some powerful performances over the last few minutes from all of the students who have presented so far. But this time last year, you wouldn't have been hearing the work from the students and their voices elevated through their writing. Because last year at this time, when COVID-19 interrupted all of our lives, we had to cancel our annual in-person benefit and also our inaugural Educator of the Year award. So please welcome classroom teacher Kwame Baird and CWP teaching artist Dale Novella Anderson Lee.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Abraham. And Kwame, welcome. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing well. Nice to see you, Dale. Happy to be here with you tonight and hear the wonderful voices of CWP.
Awesome. The only thing missing is your voice. We got all the students' poetry, but our teachers spit hot fire too. And you're one of those teachers. It's one of the many reasons you're here today, right?
Thanks. I appreciate you.
Cool. So, Kwame, you are a 17-year veteran English language arts teacher who currently teaches grades 9 through 12 at Bronx Community High School at Stevenson campus. I had the distinct pleasure of teaching with you at this school for 3 school years in a row, and it was a pleasure every single time. And last spring, we at CWP nominated you for its first ever Educator of the Year award for creating a positive environment and a bunch of other things. But I wanted to really hone in on this positive environment because some of the things I saw you do really blew my mind. One thing in particular was you started bringing fresh fruit to class every single day. Do you remember that? And you had one student who had never had blueberries, and you offered him a blueberry, and he said, "What is this?" Yeah. And he started handing them to people in the hallway. Have y'all ever had a blueberry?
I know they've got working with the students on getting their antioxidants in.
Yes. And I remember you told me that it wasn't a big deal. You had just tried to be more healthy in your own life. And so you wanted to be a good role model for your students. And so you brought in fresh fruit. And I thought that was amazing. But there was also another time I was at another school on the other side of the Bronx, but teaching with another organization. And my teaching assistant, we're just chatting before class starts. She says, "Oh, you teach at Bronx Community High School too? That's where I graduated. Is Kwame still there?" I was like, "Yeah, he's still there. He's awesome, ain't it?" It's like, he saved my life.
Wow.
And that's why you're getting this award today.
Thank you so much. I never heard that story from you. Thank you.
You probably pushed it to the back of your brain. You're so humble. You're like, "Oh, whatever." But you're an amazing teacher, amazing educator. We're happy to have you as a partner with CWP. I'm happy to teach you whenever you want us in the classroom.
I'm thankful to have worked with you all these years. Thank you. And thanks to Jay, thanks to Dave King, whole CWP team. We love you at Bronx Community.
Yes. So, of course, with the pandemic, our teaching practices had to change. So what are how was it teaching for you in the global pandemic? How did it affect your students?
It was very different. It was very frightening at first because there was a lot of uncertainty, loss of life, unfortunately, especially from the student population at Bronx Community. So you have to think about all these things while at the same time trying to keep students motivated and positive, even though you don't know what tomorrow brings.
Yeah. I know we did have one residency that was virtual, and you had a few ideas that were taken from the students. How did you respond to your students' needs during this time?
It was just trying to be, I guess, an open book or open door for them to share how they're feeling at the moment. So it's just a lot of outreach. I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. It's stuff that we do when we're in the school building. I think it's just magnified more now that we're remote. But just listening to the students, trying to see what they need and move accordingly.
Once again, you're extremely humble. Because some teachers are like, "I'm off work, I'm done." And And that's
No, the
not
job
that's
is
not
24
your
hours now. It's all day, all day.
yes. And you have your own family and a career outside of education as well. Like I said, you're a rapper.
I like to rap from time to time. Yeah.
And I bring that up because we're talking about your involvement with your students, but I remember walking into class one day and one of our old students had come back to mix your album. So you had hired some of your old students. So
Yeah,
that
that was
care,
Gil. Yeah. Yeah, he was working in the
yeah.
studio at the time. So I said, well, if you're doing that for professionals, you want to help little old me, don't forget about me. So we came by and I'm happy you did.
Yes. So that's all these things make you an amazing teacher, not just being caring, but you're also knowledgeable, you're extremely talented. And once again, we're happy to have you in the CWP family. And congratulations on your award as the inaugural Educator of the Year.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the honor.
Hey.
We recently reached out to our community of poets. There are many of them, and we asked them to read In My Mask, a community poem written by high school students at Long Island City High School.
In my mask, I hide my fear
and keep to myself
so
others don't judge me.
I hope for things to get better.
Then I let my mask shield me from fears, and in this new mask, I sing.
My scats bouncing through subway cars and rippling across the East River.
I sob, the salt of my tears carving permanent streaks into my cheeks.
I rip, pulling apart the concrete walls of prisons. I dream I was a professional soccer player, and as my skills get better,
I walk, with my head held high, feeling empowered in the skin I'm in, embodying the royalty of my ancestors.
I dream of a culture of diversity, equality, no matter the background or nationality.
In my mask, I hide my sorrows when I hear all the judgment about immigrants.
I dream you recognize the positive vibes from an individual.
I dream I am powerful and gentle, a seer.
Without fear of the unknown
and unknowable, I dream.
Wasn't that cool? To get a sense of just how far the CWP family extends, thanks to our community of poets who help to bring to life the thoughts of our community of student poets. Now, each of the poets has been involved with CWP, including some who have led as teaching artists, the Teaching Artist Project. Some have taught with us in the classroom, some have performed at former events, but we will share that dynamic list of poets at the close of tonight's program so you have their names and you can read their powerful work. Now, I would like to introduce Nasa. We mentioned her earlier. Nasa is a 17-year-old senior, again, with the Young Women's Leadership School of Jamaica, Queens. She will be attending Howard University this fall, majoring in political science and a minor in criminology. Through the past 4 years, a community word project, and most importantly, an advocate with a voice, Nasa has this to say. As I embark on my journey, I hope to continue to use my voice advocating for social justice and criminal justice within my community. Here is Nasa.
Tupac said, and keep your head up, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I was taught to be proud of this and celebrate my rich dark skin. I was stuck in the choice between the bullet and the bead before me. I say, the darker the skin color, the sweeter the white man ego widens as sees our bone-breaking, shackled blood. As it flows into the streets our ancestors and generations died to create. Our skin leads our men and women into complex, painful 6-feet graves instead of a 6-year bachelor's and master's degree. They call this the land of the free and the home of the brave. How can we land the free when our lives were shot from us before we pulled the trigger? How can we be the home of the brave was never our home to begin with. They normalize us, our music, our style, our hair, and our culture, but don't want to stand up in the fight for us and our lives in the hand of the protector and the killer. Desmond Tutu said, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you've chosen side of the oppressor. Nobody knows the struggles men, women, children face, the ones that cut deeper, the knife that cuts us open on the table. We shouldn't sacrifice our mental health, our health care, our education, or our rights to please anybody. Don't tell us you are there for us and turn your back quicker than Eric and George can say I can't breathe. Don't tell us you understand and run away faster than Michael when he was shot down. Don't tell us you won't be silenced and allow for Breonna's killers to sit at home. Because that will be side of the oppressor, who wants to see us locked up, uneducated, and in the streets. We must unsilence the silence and create loud change. To change from east to west, north to south. To make sure no more Amadou's, Tamirs, Toyans, Erics, Breonnas, and Georges don't see the next day. Unite the youth and the old to create and empower the knowledge of everyone around us. We're not just a trend, we're not just a hashtag, and we're not just a post. We are Black men, Black women, and Black children, infused with ethnicities, religion, beliefs, love, and relationships. We are unapologetically Black, and our lives matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Nasa, and you make it look easy. I got a little tongue tie in our last segment, but now it's time for you to get involved and to join the fun. Now we invite our audience, that's you, to write haikus with Community Word Project teaching artists Elizabeth Leonard and Dale Novela Anderson Lee.
Hello, we're back. Or it's nice to see you, Elizabeth.
So sorry. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you also, Dale. I am Elizabeth Leonard. I'm a teaching artist for CWP. This is my 7th school year with CWP and my second year with CWP 2.0. And Dale, who I've taught with in the past, has graciously agreed to lead this activity with us. We were going to have a 2.0 student, Bakri, but he's not feeling well today. So thank you, Dale.
No problem. Anything for my very first teaching partner?
Yes. So we, last year when we pivoted to virtual learning, we have been working, as Michele mentioned, on the 2.0 project. And that's a collaboration of literary, visual, and digital arts and technology. And so we wanted to honor what the students had been creating in person, but also then integrate digital tools since we were moving into the virtual space. So we began by writing haikus. And we began with haikus because they are a small poem. So Dale, will you explain for everyone what a haiku is?
Yeah, it is a small poem, but it's powerful, 3 lines, and they're broken down into syllables. The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the third line is another 5 syllables. And haikus also tend to juxtapose 2 images to create something new and surprising. And this is a lovely image that I believe Elizabeth did in one of her residencies, or not herself, her students.
Yes. So the images of the juxtaposed images are a creation from the 2.0 project that our students made. And they were working together, connecting each other's artwork. And we spent a lot of time thinking about how to create meaningful connections during this time of so much disconnection. And often we don't think about how connected we are, but really we're connected to everyone. We're threaded to each other in ways known and unknown. And so when we began the 2.0 project this year, we wanted to celebrate and honor the ways that students are threaded to each other, threaded to different people and places. And so we created this collaborative piece of writing about our threads, and all of these threads together create this tapestry of our community, of who we are. And so these are some of the examples that students shared. I'm threaded by my Latina heritage, threaded by my familial bonds. I'm threaded by the music of my identities. There's just this beautiful and rich tapestry of connections. And so since CWP is all about connections, as you've heard tonight, we want to invite you to connect and create with us.
Yes, so we're putting you to work, just like Abraham said. We're all going to create our own tapestry together today. And we're giving you a prompt. So you'll begin your first line, your 5-syllable line, with I am threaded by or I'm threaded to. And then write your next 2 lines about who or what you are threaded to. This could be family, friends, the community around you. It could be a stranger with whom you shared a connection with once, or the many strangers with whom we share connections and support us in ways seen and unseen, like the random people we see on the subway. And Elizabeth has an amazing example for you.
Thank you, Dale. So yes, Bakri and I created a haiku for you. So I'm going to count it out for you so you can see it, but this is an example that you can sort of give you an idea of what we're looking for. So we are threaded by writing our future where with the art inside. I think I might have missed a syllable there, but we begin with I'm threaded by or we are threaded by, and then go from there. We have 3 minutes to write your 3 lines, and we've given you the first one, so really it's 3 minutes to write 2 lines. And as you write them, you can drop them in the chat, and hopefully we'll get a bunch to share out.
Yes, please put your haikus in the chat, and we will read them out loud a little later.
Wonderful. I'm already seeing Dale.
Ooh, yes. The Council of Urban Professionals, I'm threaded to seeing our connection, Races United.
Beautiful. Oh, Wanami, welcome. Thank you for sharing a poem in the chat. Wanami just did a wonderful career event for our 2.0 students a couple of weekends ago, which is amazing. I am threaded to those who came before me and those still to come.
Jason Lynch says, I'm threaded by community aligned, our voice amplified. Yes.
Wonderful. Jenny Lynn Bader, I am threaded to all those who worry too much, including my cat. Wonderful.
David King says, I'm threaded by trusting changing narratives past the horizon.
Beautiful. Joan Sapinsley, I am threaded by you, whoever you are, my friend. It's one world we share. Beautiful. It so reminds me of the Mary Oliver poem, Wild Geese.
Julietta Eisenberg says, I'm threaded to universal family, human, love planet.
Jennifer Pineda, I am threaded to my heart and my truth, smiling, knowing love wins. Beautiful. I love that they're coming in so quickly.
Yeah, y'all getting inspiring each other, which is awesome. I'm threaded to my heart and my truth, smiling, knowing love wins. Yes.
Beautiful. Kate Lee, I am threaded by a history of women. Kayla, I am threaded to strings of spray cheese in my mind. Get well, Bakery. A little shout out to Bakery.
Oh man, I'm actually getting lost. Y'all are so y'all are good at this. I hope y'all are keeping up. I am threaded to every woman, man, and child in pursuit of peace.
Beautiful. I am threaded to people, land, air, and the trees together in time.
I am threaded to human beings of all hues, still striving for change.
I am threaded by memories of my loved ones, floating spider ghosts. Beautiful.
Yes. I am threaded to the past, the future, and to our beautiful now.
I am threaded by love, which enables me to thrive.
I am threaded to everyone.
This is so great. I'm threaded to women spanning the country now who are my sisters.
Yes. I am threaded to. I hope we didn't already say this one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm threaded to a moral compass and a family, mine and ours.
These are so great. I am threaded by my musical memory, my mom's legacy.
And I'm threaded by family, friends, life, work, and play, also important.
Wonderful. Maybe we'll read one or two more. I am threaded by moments, forgotten, transformed, back into insight. That's Jay Howard, another one of our awesome teaching artists.
Yes.
Estoy rascada a la tierra y a la mar, a mis ancestros. Gracias, Adriana. Another part of our CWP family.
Yes, thank you. And I think we have one more that just came in. I'm threaded to inclusive opportunities that make thriving possible. So beautiful. Give yourselves some snaps.
Yeah, snaps, everybody. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. That was so beautiful. Those are wonderful.
Yes, thank you for your beautiful words, and thank you for participating and putting in the work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so great. I love that they're going to keep coming too. I hope that they do. Thank you, Dale, also for jumping in. It's always fun to lead an activity with you.
No problem, Elizabeth.
We wanted to also honor, thinking about connections and these juxtaposing images, just like we've done here with this haiku. The 2.0 project last year was a collaboration of, like I said, it's always a collaboration of literary, visual, digital arts, and technology. And last year, the students cut their haikus and photos, and then they created collages and videos. And one of our students in particular, Sairis Almonte, who is another student from the Young Women's Leadership School, just created so many beautiful collages. She took it upon herself to just make a bunch of them. So we're going to share some of her work now. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth and Dale, for teaching us about haikus, introducing some of us to haikus. And again, shout out for our students. Let us know in the chat what you thought of those pieces. I, for one, thought that they were pretty special, very thought-provoking, and it evidences the student voices that emerge in the work that they do with CWP. Thank you again to everyone for your great haikus as well in the chat. We heard some awesome ones. Keep those coming. So now we're going to switch our focus a little bit. And in CWP classrooms, teaching artists instill in their students the belief that their voices are important and powerful, whether they're solo or in unison. And tonight, we celebrate the teaching artists and the powerful work that they bring to classrooms throughout New York City. Including inspiring the students that we heard from tonight. That also would include the 34,000 students that CWP has taught and served over the last 23 years. Now, let us introduce some of our teaching artists.
I have a voice.
I have a voice.
I have a voice.
I have a voice.
My voice is powerful.
My voice is powerful.
I have a voice. Tengo una voz.
My voice is powerful.
I have a voice.
My voice is powerful.
My voice is powerful.
My voice can change the world.
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 Mi voz puede cambiar el mundo.
My voice can change the world.
Your voice can change the world. Thank you again for joining us tonight. That's it. The work, as you can see from this evening, never happens alone. So special thank you to all of our incredible students in the work, CWP staff, and the teaching artists, the CWP board, as well as the CWP associate board, and to our generous supporters and all of our amazing community. Again, thank you for coming, thank you for participating, and thank you for experiencing writing our future.